So the partial lunar eclipse can be a little bit more difficult to see with the naked eye. It's only just a partial eclipse, about 7% obscuration there. That's where the Earth's shadow is what's going to cause that right at 10:44. Now, what we've had, is the harvest moon. Every full moon gets a name, that every month. But when it coincides with the closest pass from its orbit, then you would call it a supermoon here, and that's something relatively new over the last decade or so. We used to not call it that; it was just a perigee. But this is more fun for the social media. Supermoon, and it appears bigger and brighter, of course, in the sky. And there's your peak partial eclipse. Now, it's not all good news. The problem is that gravitational pull. You get the gravitational pull from the sun, from the moon together. They're pulling literally the ocean, right? And so that's why we get these coastal tide flood events called the king tides that happen particularly in South Florida in the months of October, I should say September, October, and November. So the next high tides, and Ted Scouten's been out there checking out the flooding. We get this every year, and with sea level rise, they are continuing to get even a little bit higher. So that is going to be a problem for at least the next couple of days. Once we get out of the full moon cycle, we won't do it again until we have a new moon. But there we are at 10:49 in Key West. Everybody that has experienced that knows what we're talking about. That's when sunny skies and you get the salt water coming in, which is something, just very unusual if you are not from South Florida, but that is what happens. Next radar network, what do we have here? Well, we had some good downpours down across southern Miami-Dade, but those are out of the picture. In fact, we had a brief flood advisory across that area just a couple of hours ago. And then we're just getting clipped right along the beach there, Oakland Park. But that lightning that you're seeing is off in the distance, and that cell will continue pushing in that direction. Showers and thunderstorms, nothing changing here except a front's going to stall this weekend. Our wind direction is going to change, so things are going to materialize a little bit different as far as the timing. But generally, we get the same deal for tomorrow. Showers and thunderstorms develop in the afternoon. There you see between 1 and 2 o'clock. And then we get some good downpours for the evening commutes. Keep that in mind. That's going to be the case as well as we head through the day on Thursday. All right, in the tropics, we have Gordon, which may regenerate into Gordon again. These are the remnants. So the National Hurricane Center has a 60% chance of that developing, but we won't worry ever about Gordon because it's not going to bother us. This is a different story here in the Western Caribbean, and now the National Hurricane Center has tagged this area where there's nothing right now at 20%. This is for something for next week that the models are locking in on, potential development there in the Western Caribbean. All right, here's your forecast for tomorrow. Rain chances at 50%. We'll keep them that way through the end of the week, and a little bit lower for the end of the weekend and early next week.